Now, I've been really fortunate in the way that I grew up in a really eclectic way. I've gotten to see lots of different demographics. I've gotten to see lots of different kinds of cultures. I've gotten to learn from lots of different kinds of people. And in my lifetime of learning, I've found that it's really not wise to judge, right? Now, what do I mean by judging? That means that I see something, and based on what I'm seeing, I make a judgment and determine that that is whatever it is. Well, guess what? When you do that, right, you really limit yourself. Now, as human beings, it is a part of our nature to find patterns in things. So when you see something and it looks like something you've seen before, the mind is easy to be tricked and be like, I know what that is. Well, guess what? Rarely are things exactly as we think they are. And so what that means is that we've got to really take time to look at things, to engage with things, to actually give things respect. Respect is missing all over the place, and we need respect. Guess what? You're not going to give respect to anyone if you are not kind. And a lot of us think that kindness is some act of giving someone something. Hey, I gave you a drink of water. Isn't that kind? No. That's not always what kindness is. I also happen to grow up in the country of Florida. When I say country, I'm talking about back in the day when it was filled with orange groves and cornfields. And I grew up in those orange groves and those cornfields. And one of the things that I learned from my grandma and from the elder community that raised me was sometimes you've got to be stern. Stern can be kind. Think about this for a second, right? If I truly love you and I see you doing something completely absurd, then my kindness is to be consistent and say, hey, that is absurd. But if we're living in a day and age where someone telling me what I'm doing is absurd makes me angry, if we're living in a day and age where someone telling me what I'm doing is absurd doesn't make me stop to reflect on why they might be saying that or what I'm doing, right? Instead makes me double down on what I'm doing. Well, guess what? We're not being kind. We're not being kind to those who are speaking to us, and we're not being kind to ourselves because we're not listening. We share this world with each other, so we need each other. Guess what? If we are all doing our best to be our best selves, then when we engage with each other, it has an invaluable quantity to it. You can't really put into words what the value of two people who are trying to be their best selves sharing time with each other means. You can't put it into words because it is something that is intangible. It is invaluable. It is a part of what I think life is truly about.